Hi, welcome to American Sailing Sailor of the Month. I'm Christy, your host, and I love talking to sailors from around the world who have incredible stories about what it means to become a sailor. The people we interview on this show are everyday people who have learned how to sail, have been sailing for years, and they have stories of inspiration that are wonderful to hear, whether you're a sailor or not, whether you're an old salt or you're just getting your sea legs. And today we're going to be talking to Christopher Dang, who's from San Francisco. He just learned to sail last year and he's already signed up for the Clipper race, so he has done quite a bit in a short period of time. And I'm excited for you to hear his story today. Christopher, thanks for joining us today on American Sailing, just discussing your sailing journey. How long have you been sailing?
I started last March. It's March of 2022.
Awesome. And what got you first interested in it, and kind of what first steps did you take?
Well, I moved to San Francisco this probably December of 2021, and I lived pretty close to the water, so I would see these boats all the time on the bay and the bridge, and I learned that San Francisco is one of the premier places for sailing. So when in Rome, right? So
Right.
I discovered modern sailing in Sausalito, and then I just looked for any excuse to get on the water.
Awesome. So did you sign up for the 101 straight away, or did you sign up for everything?
I did their package program. You sign up all the way to 104, I think. So I did the 101, 103 combination, and then just boom, 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 boom. If I can get away from work, I just signed up for it. It was
Nice.
clinics, I signed up for it. I looked for any excuse to get on the water, and I signed for pretty much everything there they had to offer for that first year.
That's awesome. So you had never sailed before, you just moved out there, saw it, and had to do it. Is that right?
I maybe about 15, 20 years ago, I had some introduction to sailing of some sort. It was very temporary.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, this is the first time actually in it. So yeah,
How did it feel the first time you sailed?
it was pretty amazing. I was like, okay, this can be a rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's awesome. What about it? Can you describe the kind of day it was and what kind of boat you were on and just the
We
vibe?
so we're modern sailing. You start off with a Catalina 30, so it was a
Okay.
wheelbase boat. So it was pretty intimidating, just the size of
Yeah,
the boat.
yeah,
And the bay is famous for its the tides, the wind, and so forth. So just like, oh boy.
yeah.
Then it was every time I sail, it's always been something different. So yeah, and it was just a very steep learning curve, which is another reason why I kept on signing up, and I just got maybe a little bit extra information, got a little bit improvement each time. But
When you would go home at night after your day of sailing, what kind of thoughts were going through your head?
no thoughts. I was exhausted.
Fair point.
I was exhausted. I probably slept really well. I came home, I just passed out.
Yeah.
It was
So
just long days. Yeah.
yeah, like as you reflected back on it through the week, were you reminiscing, or were you just like, are you just like always in the present, or kind of what thoughts did you have about it when you had time to think back?
During the first week when I
Yeah.
started, it was I went to sleep thinking of sailing. I woke up thinking. I still felt like I was on the water when I came
Yeah.
home. When you try something new, it's just like wow. So it was just very immersive. It was pretty incredible. Exhausting though, but it
Yeah.
was like that good type of exhausting. Like but it
Yeah.
was it was great.
You wrote in your Sailor of the Month entry that your most memorable sailing experience was sailing under a full moon in the English Channel after a full day of training. So tell me a little bit more about that.
So some of the things we do for the Clipper race is we have to go to the southern part of UK and Gosport, and we sail on the English Channel. And then on one of the level trainings where we're doing night sailing, and then it was pretty exhausting in the daytime, the winds, the lack of sleep and whatnot, and a little seasickness. But then at night, there was just calmness. Saw this full moon. It was just everyone was just like quiet and just kind of taking in the moment. So that was just it was incredible.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Clipper race. So when are you going? What leg are you doing? Tell me all about it.
So the Clipper race, I was actually I discovered on one of my sailing classes. we're out in the bay, and I saw this boat come through. I was like, "What is that?" The instructor said, "Oh, that's one of the Clipper race." I was like, "What's that?" And then I was like, "I have to do this."
So
So
for
then,
those who are uninitiated, tell us quickly about the Clipper race and then tell us about your leg.
yeah, so the Clipper race is a around the world race, towards amateurs. There's 8 different legs, over 11 months. Um, I it starts in the UK. This year would be a Go Sport. But I one leg I can do was the leg 3, which is from South Africa to Perth, Australia.
That's a good
So
leg.
yeah, it's a good leg. It's the Southern Ocean, so it seemed the most exciting. I mean, all the legs seemed exciting, but that one that just kind of grabbed towards me. So the Southern Ocean, the Roaring Forties.
It's
Heard
the
so
one everyone is intimidated by. You just don't hesitate. You dive right in.
And it's one of the few opportunities as an amateur racer, I'm an amateur sailor, to be able to sail the Southern Ocean. So
Yeah,
find something, maybe the Atlantic, maybe the Pacific, but I've never seen anything that offers the Southern Ocean. So I was like, if I had to pick one, I went with that one.
nice. So when do you leave for it?
I leave early November. So November, I think I leave for South Africa November 6th or so. And then there's a little bit of refresher training and to the new boat. And then I should get to Perth maybe a little over 3 weeks after that. So about 23, give or take.
Okay, if there's somebody who um doesn't know anything about it but wants to dive in and kind of like do what you're doing, what are the steps you took to get there?
In terms of sailing, just look for any opportunity to get on the water. I can't emphasize that enough. I mean, you can take the classes, and then if you don't do anything with the classes, then you don't do it with that comfort.
Mhm.
It takes the repetition to get that comfort level and get going. So it takes a little bit of a steep learning curve, but once you get onto it, then you get a little more comfortable. Then you start doing more and more and so forth. But I find it's easy to take a class and then don't do anything with it, and then it just falls in the back burner. So I think it's very important just to take as many classes. I took as many ASA classes, clinics, and any excuse. Someone's looking for crew in the boat, sign up for it. I mean, obviously, job permitting and all these different things, but it's the one
And
thing I would say.
if they wanted to join the Clipper race specifically, what are the steps to do that?
You first you apply, and there's a little brief interview, and then there are 4 training courses, each one lasting about a week. Some people cram them in together, so do 2 weeks of training. Some people break them up like I had to do just because of work. So,
Mhm.
but they say about 40% of people have never been on a sailboat who sign up. So it's an amateur race. Yeah, and that's pretty incredible. So the trainings are pretty intense, but they're doable. I felt it was thorough. I felt safety was very emphasized on that. So I didn't feel it was like a rush job. They won't graduate to the next level unless you hit these certain parameters. So, and I met multiple amateur racers or people who've never been on a sailboat, and I mean, they did fine. It was just, I mean, it's kind of new for everybody, sailors and non-sailors, because you have to conform to their regulations. It's a boat, it's a new boat, and it's yeah. If you're interested and just sign up, it's amateur race.
So cool. Would you say that your education through Sausalito or your American sailing kind of helped boost you on that process?
100%.
Yeah.
Having that knowledge base helps me to kind of grasp it quicker and kind of pick things up, and just a foundation. I mean, sailing is sailing still,
Yeah.
but definitely 100%.
Awesome. So about 3 weeks into November, we'll touch base again with you and follow up and see how you did. What are your goals for the race, and what are you expecting as you kind of set into it?
Uh, well, my goals is, well, finish the race, not get hurt,
Right, right.
have a good time, learn as much as I can about this. It's a new opportunity, so I'm just immerse myself, just like what I did, but learning about sailing when I first started. Just kind of any opportunity, just learn as much as I can, and
Awesome.
that's what's helpful with sailing. It just there's always so much more to learn, and The more you learn, the more there's more to learn.
Absolutely. So do you have your sights set on anything after the Clipper race? Because you seem like a type of guy that just doesn't stop. So what's after that?
I don't know. I signed up for 106 next week
Okay.
here, and then I want to do more offshore stuff. So I don't have anything specific yet. We'll see how this race goes first, and then I've seen opportunities to maybe go to around Greenland. Those opportunities in the Arctic Circle, and
Awesome.
wherever there's a boat can go, I'll check it out. I don't know. So
Yeah.
it's like that aha moment when I first saw the Clipper race boat. I was like, oh, that looks like an opportunity. So if something else comes up to that, then I'll do it. But any excuse to be on the water.
Love it. Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Christopher, for taking some time today. We look forward to hearing more of your story, and congratulations on being American Sailing Sailor of the Month.
Thank you.
That's a wrap. Congratulations, Christopher, on being July 2023 American Sailing Sailor of the Month. We look forward to checking in with you after the Clipper race and seeing how things went for you. If you'd like to tell your story, we'd love to hear it. Please hit us up at asa.com/sailor of the month.